No, but fucking lo and behold, man, there it was. I was like, what the fuck is life? I held up a goddamn knife and like all these, and like there was maybe
the papers. You know, like were they blank orders? Like all these orders, give me a knife to fucking play with.
No, I took them off my fucking nail stack. They were legit orders for throughout my day, and I was like, fuck it. I just threw them up in the air, and I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it. But it was just weird, man, because I expected it just to be like, oh god, now that I'm viral, people are fucking brutal. So I went through the comments, and literally out of like 70 or 80 fucking comments, there was like 1 or 2 that were negative. The other were just like, local working man hero now, the new blue collar hero of America. And so I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, it was crazy. And now like my mom fucking repeat almost every day now. She wants to show somebody new. So I don't know what problem she's having not being able to save a link or how links work, but every fucking day almost she asks me to send her the link. I'm like, it's in your text. What the fuck you keep asking me for? But whatever.
It's moms.
Moms, man. Moms.
Sweetie, send me that link again. With that link with you in the funny video everybody likes.
I look down at my phone right now. Actually, it says, "Hey, your sister's boyfriend wants to see it. Can you send it to me again?" Like, you know, it is what it is. Could have been worse.
Fucking great though. You know,
I could have been that guy who just got busted with 58 terabytes of child porn. Do you have any clue how much 58 fucking terabytes is, Tannen?
Oh, dude, that's more than like. What was it? The library that burnt down in like 500 BC, the Persian library. that is fucking more than what could fit in that.
It's like 4 Persian libraries, a football field, baseball stadium.
It probably would take that new quantum computer that Google came out with. Probably would take that thing 200 seconds to go through all that. 58 fucking terabytes. What are you doing with all of that? That's just. Oh God.
Yeah.
That's good God.
And he kind of I don't know if you saw a picture of him. He kind of looks like the wrestling fan guy, the "It's Still Real to Me, Damn It" guy. It's not him. If you're listening to this, it's not you. But it kind of looks like.
But what I'm wondering is though, okay, like because they say 58 terabytes, I just can't even. I mean, this world is a horrible, sick place. But how in the fuck does 58 terabytes of child porn exist?
Sad thing is, how does someone have that amount and it took them this long to fucking catch him, too? You know?
Yeah.
Like, any asshole, any fucking dickhead amateur hacker can run a scraper on someone's Skype and get their fucking PIN number. But you can't find the guy with 58 goddamn years worth of porn on his computer? Underage porn? Come on.
That's 58 terabytes is more than 58 years. That's got to be like...
Did I say years? I meant to say terabytes. Oh, I said years.
Well, no, yeah, but still, I would say that it's at least a half a century.
Fucking awful.
Like, I just, like, well, the thing about that case is, though, like, was there other shit that was he just collecting the internet in general? And that just happened to be part of it? Like, can you imagine that? Like, if you're like, I am going to collect the entire internet. Including the dark web.
I feel like if that statement comes out of your mouth, though, and you don't see the negative aspects of doing something like that, then you're an idiot, knowing what's on the internet.
What else did he fucking have? You know? And like, what measures beyond a terabyte? I don't even know. I don't even know what goes beyond a terabyte at this point in the measurement. I know there's quantums.
Zerabyte.
Well, earlier today, too, in the news, Google scientists announced that their quantum processor solved a problem that a normal computer would take 10,000 years to complete. Their quantum processor solved it in 200 seconds.
Well, we're fucking dead. Skynet exists, then. Because nice knowing you, Tannen.
What's the fucking math problem?
Well, we haven't done...
That's got to be the answer, no?
We haven't done this in a while. Did you see that video of that fucking robot like a month or so ago who was doing like gymnastics flips and shit and it wasn't fake? It was fucking real?
I did not catch that one.
Oh my God. When I see that shit and I see people like get giddy with excitement like little schoolgirls, I'm like, why are you excited? We're dead. What The fuck you celebrating for? I get terrified when I see shit like that.
At the same time, though, I am up for having robots around. But, we're also creating AI that solves math problems that take 10,000 years in 200 seconds. So, if you mix those robots with that intelligence, yeah, we are fucked.
As long as I feel like we'd be all right if every robot was like a little Cogsworth, like a little friendly British accent maid type guy. Listen to him for a shoulder to lean on too in his program.
Yeah, I'm programmed to study human psychology. Tell me how you're feeling, and then they just get down to what your problems are, and it's like, dude, thanks for talking.
Yeah, he's even, sir, we haven't talked in a while. Is everything all right? Shit like that, letting you know he's there for you. Some people need that reassurance. Therapy bots.
Even if it's from an I would take that, because if that's from an artificial intelligence. However, though, I am friends with therapists and counselors, and I can see them being very offended by my statement that a robot could replace them.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Inside joke, guys.
You know what? A robot can't replace a pawnbroker, I bet. Because somebody has to buy and sell those sons of bitches. Travis, how have you been doing, man?
I was going to say, speaking of reassurance, I can assure you we are open. You know what? I was going to say 6 months, but I'm looking at our little call log history. We actually tried to do a show on the 4th of July. So it's actually only been 3 months, but we are fucking back. And I know a lot of you guys, you've been asking, you've been wondering. Have no fear. We are here. Our Halloween edition. What better way to return? Tannen, my man, and goddamn it, it's good to say that once again. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming back. The reset button's here. Where can everyone catch you and all that shit?
First off, I want to state, and this is for future reference, I would call this season 2 of the reset button.
Season 2 premiere.
Yeah, season 2 premiere Halloween special extravaganza.
Ooga booga.
Oh, ooga booga. Well, everybody can sort of catch me. I swear, you know what? I'm getting back into it. We're doing this. I'm going to use it again. You can catch me, Tannen's Bum, at Twitter. You can also catch me, sliding around Facebook. Type in Tannen. You'll find me if you know how to.
And probably 4 other million people will pop up too, I have a feeling, if you just type in Tannen.
I could be cheesy right now. It's going to be like, Tannen is back on the market, by the way. I'm on Plenty of Fish. However, you can catch me. I'm Tannen's Bum on there as well. Where else can you catch me at, Travis? You can always catch me here at the reset button, of course. All that fun stuff. I never actually released my PSN name.
Go for it.
If anybody wants to be friends with Hopeful Jerkman, that is officially and solely me these days. So you can also catch me there on PSN. Got a good game you want to play together? I'll log on and play with you when I'm at my place, and we do something fun. I like having fun online. I don't get to do it that much. Anybody want to play some Red Dead Online? Haven't gotten knee deep in that shit yet. Played of course, the plot and everything, but and played the beta, but I have not played the official online.
Did they change it at least for the PC version from tuberculosis to AIDS as an upgrade?
Yeah, well, there you go.
Spoiler
I
alert.
think that was a mod.
Is that even a spoiler alert at this point? Tuberculosis, Red Dead 2? I feel like...
I'd say that was...
No, because I feel like everybody's had to yell at least one person for letting it slip. It's one of those games.
Well, tuberculosis exists in the West, and you didn't reveal how tuberculosis reflects the plot. So there you go.
There you go. Oh, I know I didn't spoil it because I'm not an asshole.
Tuberculosis, Osmosis Jones.
Some things never change. Some things never changed. A couple things have changed. I was going to say Tannen used to plug the other shows, but Tannen, we haven't done this in a while. There's a couple new fucking shows you don't even know. So I'm on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. Hit that little red goddamn button right down below for all the best retro gaming and pro wrestling goodness. I'll get the rest of the shows at the end of the show. I'm just so happy to have Tannen back. We're here. I know Broski's listening. He's excited. Man, Tannen, it's Halloween season. It's upon us. Favorite time of the year for both of us. I know Friday, real quick before we get into anything in the news, any gaming, you took a little voyage. Not really far, like 10 minutes from where you live, pretty much. But still, you went a little paranormal adventuring.
Actually, that would have been Saturday.
Sorry, Saturday.
And then the Friday before that. This weekend, to plug my own shit, if anybody is local and this gets published before Saturday, or Friday, but I kind of doubt. I don't know. It's up to you here, Travis. But yeah, I've been giving some ghost tours. I am part of a paranormal team called Oculus Paranormal Team. Been part of that now for a couple of years. But we are doing a public event in Hagerstown City Park. From 8 to 10 p.m. You can actually get on Hagerstown Parks and Rec. Sign up for it. Pre-sign up is $15 or it's $20 at the gate, but you have to be there at 8 to make it great. If you show up late, you still have to pay your $20, and you're going to be showing up in the middle of the tour, miss a sweet lecture, and then, before you know it, you will kind of be lost. Because what we do within the store is we give a short lecture, show off our equipment, and then we let you, the person, actually have your own ghost hunt.
And what better way, Tannen, to show up to your very own ghost hunt and the official, we can announce it now because we haven't done a show since this, your official Reset Button t-shirt. UnionSmack.BigCartel.com.
Honestly, if you showed up in an official's Reset Button t-shirt and somehow had it paid express to you, I'll let you in free. I'll pay for your way in.
And you get a smooch on the cheek.
Yeah, a mooch on the cheek, a big hug. And then we give you a Ghost Meter Pro, and I let you play in a field with it. There's actually a lot of history down there about where we're doing it. I mean, I could go into this. Where we're located is actually right beside the train tracks at the back of the city park. And a great thing about that historically is during the Civil War, which, if you're not familiar with where we're located, pretty much, Antietam is right by us, and Gettysburg's right north, and a lot of bullshit was going on. They ran out of ways to, basically, if you died at war, they would put you in a pine box. And that spot right there, no matter where you were in the country, you were in a pine box waiting for either an undertaker to bury you here locally, or they, if your family wrote back, which, mail takes a long time, they would put you back on a train and send you home. That part of Hagerstown was so piled up with pine boxes and dead bodies, it stunk extremely bad. There's only one photo of it in existence, and nobody wanted to hang out there. So that's the very field that I walk you through as you get to play with ghost equipment. Kind of fun.
And who better to lead you down the barren path than this guy?
Yeah, surely, yeah. I make it safe. It's a fun experience. We've gotten good reviews from the last two tours, but that has been what I've been up to in my free time outside of work.
I'll put a link down in the description too of all this if you want to check it out.
Yeah, if you publish it in time, but if not, it's no big deal. However, though, it is something you should. I encourage anybody in their local town that's listening to go to any of your local ghost tours. You'll find stories and all kinds of stuff that you might find out stuff about your little local town that you found boring to actually be quite interesting. Every city, every town has a history. And I really do encourage anybody to explore their local history.
And maybe you'll find out something about yourself along the way.
Yeah, maybe you ain't afraid of no ghosts. Speaking of ghosts,
go for it.
I know I'm excited for Halloween. Not because of trick or treat, not because of anything. Luigi's Mansion 3 is going to drop on the Switch.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Gives me goosebumps. I didn't get to play Dark Moon because, I never picked myself up a 3DS. But I did play the living shit out of the GameCube. The first one. So I'm really glad to see this return back to console and something that I can play on my TV versus just a straight up handheld. I have a copy of Dark Moon, but I don't have an apparatus to play it on.
Also, cheap plug for the channel. Go back, check out one of the videos on demand. You and I can also say we played the arcade version right here on the vlog, which was hard as shit. by the way.
It depends on the difficulty level that you pick. But yeah, we picked the hard one. So
Well, we're big boys, Tannen.
I kind of want to go back to play that again. I bet you that thing's getting so gangbanged right now. Remember the last time we went there and how we had to wait, kept going back, and there was still kids in there.
Yeah.
You know, but I really felt like we kind of had to pull that hovering adult thing where like the kid finally left. You know, like
the bully factor. Move it, kid.
You know, like the same thing happened to me at it happened to me at Dave and Buster's when the Star Wars Battle Pod came out.
Yeah.
I wanted to play it so bad, and this one little kid just was hogging the shit out of it. And even got to the point where his mom was like, "This man wants to play this game so bad. Can you get out of this?" And, you know, she wasn't like 4 years older than me, but like, yeah, obviously was like, I kept coming back to it. It was like would walk away with a sad face, like the damn little bastard still in there.
Did you see this one coming? Because we know the one. Like they announced this a little while back, but before the official announcement, I thought after 2 for the 3DS they might cool it off a little bit because it didn't do that great sales wise. But I feel like because the Switch has been a fucking layup since its release, it's just dominated for the most part. That it made sense.
Well, also some people like, and I agree too. Like, you know, we're kind of waiting on like the Nintendo store because remember back a couple of years back, Nintendo did say, "Oh, we're also going to re-release GameCube games." Onto this. We're still waiting on that.
Yeah. Because I am ready for Eternal Darkness remastered.
Yeah, well, also I feel like they were like, hey, we'll make more money releasing a new Luigi's Mansion versus, like, you know, making it a thing. I mean, still, the Switch is not disappointed me, especially with, like, oh, now we have Super Nintendo on there. You know, like, now I look at my NES Mini and I'm just like, piece of fucking junk. No, I don't feel that way about it. But, like, you know, there is more games pouring into this. I mean, it's so worth paying the $20 for the year.
When the original Luigi's Mansion dropped back in the day for GameCube, because I feel like, my memory is like this. People were kind of shitting on it. Not shitting on it, but just kind of weary because it wasn't what we expected. But I feel like it's one of those, it's one of those games that over the years, everyone's it's totally grown on them.
Well, no, I'll admit, too, like, I didn't get a GameCube when it first came out. I was not first in line for the GameCube. I wanted a PS2.
Same.
And that's where my money went. I just felt like a GameCube was a little bit too kiddie. And then Gary sucks. Gary was the first friend that I had a GameCube, and he got Smash Brothers for it. I was sold on it. Like, I was like, this is awesome. I want a GameCube now. And but it wasn't until 2010 that I actually got a copy of Luigi's Mansion. And I got it because I found a copy of it for like $5.
That's good hunting right there, because I shudder to think what it goes for now.
Oh, it probably went up in value now at this point.
Well, it's Nintendo, so of course it did.
Yeah. Well, especially with the third one on the horizon.
Right.
But yeah, like I picked it up, and you know, it was funny because I picked it up around October. I was living in Florida at the time, and when I found it, and I was just like, yeah, I'll put it in and give it a shot, and I fucking loved it. Like the soundtrack was awesome, and just the whole like there were people that were like, one of the things that I'll never forget, my mom's boyfriend at the time was shitting on it a lot because he got a GameCube. And he bought, that was like one of the launch titles, if I remember correctly, for GameCube. And he just bitched about it because he was like, all you do is hit a button. It's just Luigi going, Mario. I was like, well, stop hitting the button.
Can you do that one more time? That was really good.
Mario.
Thank you.
Mario.
It made the whole 3 months worth it, Tannen. That right there.
But yeah, like he was annoyed by that. And it was just like, don't hit the button. That's like playing Heavy Rain and getting sick of pressing it. I said, like, you know, like it just.
Wait, pressing what? Pressing what? Because you broke up there. We didn't hear what you said. Pressing what?
Pressing X to say Jason.
Ah, there you go.
Jason. You know, like if I would have played Heavy Rain and just based off that, like I'm walking through a mall yelling Jason, you know, and didn't continue it anymore. Like, you know, and that's what I took his word for it though. Like I was like, oh, it must suck.
It's like getting mad
And
playing a wrestling game every time you hit the taunt button, and all you do is taunt.
yeah, you know, you just taunt. Yeah, although like I love doing that. Like I love being the one who just gets the shit beat out of me, but I keep getting up and taunt.
Just tell them to suck it for 45 minutes straight. Now, Louis, I was the same way. I feel like
Suck it.
I feel like Luigi's Mansion.
Suck it.
I feel like it kind of has what I like to call Wind Waker syndrome. Everybody was so just weary at first because it wasn't what we expected, but when they played it, it was really good.
Yeah, like Wind Waker had to grow on me when I got into it. Like I was like, okay, like I don't like how this looks, but I gotta do this.
I got to tell you too, like one of the first when I played Wind Waker, it was one of the first times I also realized that the GameCube graphically is right on par with the other two at the time, if not more, as far as depth, perception, and shit like that at the time.
A beautiful game.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you know, and the HD version on Wii U is even better.
Oh my god!
You know, like it's just so pretty,
Yeah.
and it was very well animated. I mean, they took that shell shading and but they made it so great.
Surprised
like,
it wasn't like already on the Switch like a year and a half ago. I'm surprised we haven't gotten it yet or anything, any announcement for it.
I'm sure they're gonna gangbang us with that. This is the second time I'm gonna use that term. They're gonna use it, but they're gonna do that with us with like. There's got to be like a Twilight Princess and stuff. You know, they're gonna overload us with it.
Perfect segue, Tannen. They got to let Link's Awakening remastered settle in a little bit before they drop another one. Get those sales up.
Yeah, this is very true. The Link's Awakening remaster, I did pick that up the day after it came out. I was pretty damn determined. That was one of the titles that I was just very excited to get my hands on. And the thing is I forgot about it. And then a Facebook ad ran through my feed, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's coming out tomorrow. So, like, you know, luckily I had the $60 to, like, spend on it, like, because I just got paid, and I went and got it. I'm telling you right now, I am very much enjoying this remake. Like we talked about earlier, it was one of the only Zelda titles I never beat. And I think it was just because it was a handheld. I mean, I played way into it on Super Game Boy, but still didn't finish it. And for it to come out though in this, I mean, it's so beautiful. It took me a little bit of getting used to because like a lot of the scenery around it, like when you're on the map, they did like a Vaseline lens on the edges.
Yeah, saw that.
I did not like that at all at first, and I even was like trying to figure out how to turn that off. But then I got used to it.
I think it looks. I actually liked that part that they did, and I think it looks fucking fantastic, and I can't wait to pick it up. And making a statement like I'm going to wait till it drops in price is asinine to make on a first party Nintendo game, so I'm not even going to make that statement. I'm just going to have to give in and pay $60 fucking bucks if I want it. I know that.
That game's not going to drop in price.
No fucking way. Nope.
Probably not even after that.
Not until my daughter graduates high school, probably. It'll fucking start dip $10. Fucking. Just kidding.
It won't even dip $10. That game's just not going to do it. But like the fact that they took the elements, you know, so much of like both DX and this one, and threw them together. And then also one of the best things I love about it is the dungeon builder. That is like so much something that so many people haven't talked about it. But like as you complete the dungeons, you get these like little things to build your own dungeon. And like being a Mario Maker fan,
yeah,
this was what I wanted. I mean, I've been saying for a long time I want a Zelda Dungeon Maker, and they kind of threw that in there. It's not as full as I want it.
Right.
However, though, like this is definitely the teaser.
It's something
to get that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I definitely see this being the concept of what we're going to have, and it will make it in a way like you know how like with Mario Maker. You know, you have like Super Mario 3D World, and then you have like Mario 3, and everything maps over it. I could definitely see it turning into something where like you're not going to have Zelda 2 as an element, but like, you know, the original Zelda, Link to the Past on Super Nintendo, and this version, you know, and maybe even like, you know, yeah, the Game Boy look and everything included. I mean, it's so easy to create a top-down environment.
Yeah.
And like one of the things that I had always loved was that program that was out years ago where you could take Link's Awakening and completely change it, and they made it so simple. The only thing I ever played with on that was changing the text, however. And, you know, like, I just, what was it that I did? When the uncle wakes up, you know, when you wake up in Link to the Past, the uncle, like, looks at you and he's just like, I'm going to go out, I'll be back.
Yeah.
You know, Tourette's I was really big back then, and I made him say, I'm going to go take a piss when I get I'm going to go take a piss when I get back. I want to talk about those Mighty Ducks movies, and he just walks out. And that was, like, the main thing that I had played with there.
Jesus. No, I'm glad you brought it up because I feel like that's definitely going under the radar. People aren't talking about that a lot at all from what I've seen on social media and stuff, is that Dungeon Maker. And I think it's a really cool little extra to throw in there.
I really think they're going to, like, work on it a little bit more. But like I said, I think that's your beta for your, what will be.
Right.
What will become. You know, because we already had Super Mario Maker 2. How much more can you get out of that?
Right.
You know, which I also got a copy of that.
Well, I was going to say, you're on fucking fire with the segues, because I was going there next, because that's something we've both gotten, actually, since we've done this, so we can both talk about it. Go ahead, Dan.
But I don't think Super Mario Maker is going to go beyond this title. Like, this is it. You know, like, I really just, like, with that one, I'm like, how much more can we do with that? You can't make a Mario 64 Maker. How fucking complicated would that game be? You would need that to be on PC.
Yeah.
Like, it would just have to be like that. There's no way you could pull that off with a Switch apparatus.
Plus, let's be fucking honest. I'm not dumb. You're not dumb. You know, within 5 years, we're getting that remaster, too, and they don't want to fucking ruin any part of that selling.
Oh, hell no, yeah. We might even get it within, you know, probably 2 years. You know, it's still going to happen.
Considering how well Odyssey did, yeah.
Well, they already did it for the DS, you know. And the fact that they threw in...
But I mean a full-on overhaul, you know.
Yeah. I could definitely see that happening very easily. Even if it's just a Nintendo store download exclusive.
Dude, honestly, at most, I'm with you, man. I feel like at most we see some DLC for Mario Maker 2. And I even have my doubts that we even get that. And if they would, it would be what? Super Mario 2. Right, and
I'm just surprised with Odyssey. See, with Odyssey, you could make it because it's pretty much the same engine. You just make Odyssey, like, but you like do a DLC where it's Mario 64 all over again.
I don't know about you. I was super disappointed in the 3D world aspects of Mario Maker 2. Super disappointed.
I was very disappointed too. I just find it kind of useless.
I mean, I like it, but it's not love-hate, because I don't like it more than I like. I don't like that you can't just, like... I get it. There's certain things from that game that you can't use in the other games, right? Why not? It's fucking Mario Maker. Why can't you just do all four? You can only save your game on... You know what I'm saying? It's dumb. Stupid. But I like it. It's more the same. It's as advertised. It's exactly like the Wii U one, just on steroids. They took out some shit I didn't... I hate that the Mario Paint mini game isn't in there anywhere anymore. That was the little fly swatter game.
Yeah.
But, you know, I can't bitch. It's solid. It is what it is. It's Mario Maker.
Yeah. You know what they should do is overhaul with Mario Paint.
Oh, yes. That should be DLC. That and Mario 2. There's your DLC for it. Do it.
Years ago, they had a concept. It was in Nintendo Power, and it was supposed to be for the 64 disc drive. It was going to be Mario Paint 3D. And it looked amazing in the photos. Somebody had made like an animation of like a T-Rex running. Oh my God, looked badass. I was ready for it. I was ready for that fucking disc drive to come out. So ready for Earthbound and everything.
Yeah.
And what did they do? Fucked us on it. Like,
no.
We're just gonna throw that out. We're done. We're gonna make a game.
Hey, at least not even the Japanese got it that time. Nobody got it. So there's that.
This is true. And those prototypes still exist. I'm totally jealous of the people that have that.
That is a whole other rabbit hole. That should be a special someday to take a look at the DD. What could have been. You know,
I think it would be amazing.
or this
I think
an episode on the Statella, something like that.
I like that. I like that idea.
Mario Maker 2 though, Tannen, I would recommend it. Would you recommend it to people who want to check it out?
There's definitely, yeah. I like that, and Link's Awakening is a high recommendation. You know, it was nice to get another Zelda game that's outside of Breath of the Wild and go back to that basic concept of Zelda, but also have it just, it's a beautiful looking game.
Yeah.
It would be great if you could have changed your angle to like make it more three-dimensional and not top-down, and you can actually see when you're looking at it, wow, this kind of would have worked.
And there it is. It's a 2019 another case of Wind Waker syndrome, because I feel like when it was first dropped and people saw like the Walt Disney 1920 style graphics like Link's eyes, people were like, "What the fuck is this?" But I've seen hardly anything negative about that game. Honestly.
Yeah, no. Well, the whole thing is too. It's, you know, it was a Game Boy game, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And look what they've done with it.
For one, I'm that demographic. I always like it when they change up length in every iteration, because it makes each Zelda feel different. Just kind of like, that's why Final Fantasies for me kind of got because especially around like 10 and 11 and shit, like, because like everybody looked the same between like 10 and 12. 13 they started getting zanier, a little too zany with like birds nests and shit, but you know what I mean. But I appreciate when Zelda does this, when they change up the entire look from time to time.
Definitely.
I also appreciate, man, and I know you do, it's our favorite time of year. What is it about the Halloween season, Tana, that gets us like little kids again? Is it just the atmosphere, really?
I think it's the concept. You know, Halloween's kind of a zany holiday. Like, especially now that I feel like our generation has taken it over. Like, as parents, you have the Gen Xers and us that totally we've always been about it. Like, I feel like there was a stagnant age of Halloween there for a second, where it kind of faded. Like, I feel like during my teen years, like, it just, like, nobody was really participating. And then we became adults and was like, fuck it, let's blow this back up. And
we're also that generation totally that we stayed up late and snuck watching like Friday the 13th and shit like that. So those guys now have become iconic to us for our generations. Now we're the adults, you know, pulling the strings with our children and running the ship. That's what we bring them up on, you know. Well, not as children. We wouldn't show our kids text. That's not what I'm saying, but you know what I mean.
Well, we had a lot of cool stuff growing up. You know, like at least AMC brand Monster Fest and shit. You know, like
Joe Bob Briggs.
You still have that going on. Bob Briggs. Oh my God. And Bob Briggs was all year round, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Plus Mystery Science Theater definitely threw that one in there, you know. And you had just all this stuff. It definitely was what created a lot of, you know, our generation to be horror movie buffs, because it was, we stayed up late and we watched TV.
Last year I didn't really get a chance to, because I can't remember, but there was just a lot going on. But this year I've really had a chance, when I'm not working my ass off and doing stuff like this shows, to sit down and appreciate and watch the fucking classics this year. I've just been binging on all the Universal monster movies, the Hammer horror films. Even I've been watching like BBC television series from the 70s on Dracula, shit like that, just going all in. Just, you know, I love it. Even the shitty ones, why not?
My main thing is last month, I was at FYE, and I found the entire series box set of Tales from the Dark Side.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, it was a great find. $20. And I was like, yeah, I have to have this. It was the only one there, you know. And yeah, when I went up to open up the DVD shell, like, the inside of it is kind of broken, but all the discs are in immaculate condition.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, so I've been on a kick with Tales from the Dark Side. That was a series, like, I don't know if you remember the theme song to it. Such a creepy opening, because it's showing all these serene images, but then there's this guy that's like, you know, on the other side. Like, and then it turns into a negative. Like, and it's just so cheesy. But George A. Romero was so involved in that series, as well as so many of these other horror writers, even those involved in, like, you know, the Universal Classics and everything, writers from Twilight Zone and stuff. Like, it gets really deep. That, like, I'm coming to the conclusion that, in a way, I also have, you know, like, every season of Tales from the Crypt, but I am enjoying this more than what I did Tales from the Crypt. And I think because as a kid, I actually watched more Tales from the Dark Side because it aired at a normal time on CBS. Where versus, Tales from the Crypt was an HBO show that aired at like 11 p.m.
It was gloves off.
And
It was gloves off because it was on HBO. They could do pretty much anything. Yeah. And Tales from the Dark Side, I had to work around corporate restrictions in a way.
Exactly. And I had to sneak around to watch Tales from the Crypt because there was tits and everything in it. Versus like Tales from the Dark Side, I was just allowed to watch it. Like that was a show. I was just, you can go ahead and watch it. It's regular TV. Don't watch that HBO shit.
Right. Yeah.
So like it really does take me back, and like a lot of them are like, yeah, the plots are actually like genuinely like really fucking good. I mean, there's some episodes that are missed, but that's the same goes for Tales from the Crypt. There's some episodes that are missed, and just like there's issues of EC Comics that are definitely a miss versus like the ones that were really fucking good.
That's one thing, Tannen. I also found myself thinking when I was watching the TV series from 1977, Bram Stoker's Dracula, as compared to like the film from '92 or is rated R, right? They had restrictions. I know the BBC was more lax than American television at the time, but still they couldn't do what the fuck they did in the goddamn movie where they literally showed the baby being eaten and all that shit. Spoiler.
Like the little orgy and shit going on.
Right. They kind of showed that, but it was BBC 77. But that I found myself appreciating more because it was more psychological. That's how they told the story. And it was more slower and brooding, but I just found myself appreciating it more, even though the Coppola film's no fucking masterpiece. It's not like I'm comparing it to something great,
What a shitty fucking SNES game, though.
Dude, last night I watched, hand to God, I swear to God, I watched Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with De Niro, and what a terrible game that was. Jesus Christ.
I've never played that.
Oh my God. Well, did we just give ourselves games of the week halfway through the show?
Well, yeah, sure. I'll since you said it, I'll do Mary Shelley's and you can do Prom Sugars. I'll give you Genesis.
Okay. And I'll do you one better, I'll live stream it. There you go.
Cool, and I'll take Mary Shelley's. And I'm pretty sure though, funny enough, I have that on my SNES Mini, or was that a Sega game?
It was. I played on SNES. I have no clue if it was even on Sega.
I've got to have it then for SNES.
My cousin growing up had Bram Stoker's Dracula for Sega CD. Yeah.
Ooh.
And I remember playing that game as a kid and fucking hating it even as a kid because you just punch bats and shit.
Damn.
Yeah. When did Jonathan Harker punch a bat?
That sounds like a joke. Like you just actually asked me a joke.
Like there's supposed to be a punchline, but it's never coming.
Yeah, what did Jennifer Harker punch back?
The joke is the developers of that game. Yeah. But I will say Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the pinball game, and Bram Stoker's Dracula, the pinball game, are really fucking good. But they're pinball games. Like even the shittiest goddamn movies were good pinball games. So.
Man, speaking of movies, just to segue into our idea here, man, do you remember fried green tomatoes on the SNES?
It was, dude, the hit detection in that game was some of the worst I've ever seen in my life. The tomatoes would flash from green to purple before they hit the old lady.
Yeah, and Jessica Tandy just, I'll never forget the bonus level where you're Kathy Bates and you have to find a parking spot. And, you just bash it into cars and she just keeps on screaming Tawanda over and over again.
Well,
and the word 8-bit way.
Did you ever use? You're supposed to use you ever use the Tandy code? You put in at the title screen.
Oh yeah, for the infinite tomatoes.
And the unlimited menopause.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Guys, stay away from fried green tomato. That's another shitty game. Don't ever play that one. But
it was so controversial though because they reenacted that scene where she punches where like June's wife punches her in the stomach while she's pregnant. And then you have to run through the house dodging candles and plates flying at you to rescue June.
It's just like Ghostbusters on Sega, pretty much. It's like a poor man's Ghostbusters on Sega.
Oh, man. No, but like I will say though, when you get to there's that mini game where you're serving the barbecue to that guy.
Fuck
That
that
was
mini
really
game. That shit hurt my thumb so much as a kid.
well, they took that 3D kind of concept that was in the Lion King where he's running from the wildebeests, but
Oh,
instead it's reverse.
I guess that makes sense.
So that's a preview for our next episode, folks. We're going to talk about games that were based off of movies.
You know what I fucking hate, Tannen? Speaking of things that suck, you know what I goddamn hate? Especially this fucking commercial for this stupid movie coming out about the phone app that fucking kills you. That's the best we have this year? Are you fucking shitting me? I hate, Tannen, when horror movies, maybe once or twice, but when they're rated PG-13, what the fuck? What's the fucking point? It's like drinking non-alcoholic beer.
You completely lost me on what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, there's a movie I've seen I've seen commercials for all the time. You've seen it with this app where it says you have 2 days to live and then you die.
Wow. No.
It looks like shit. Take my word for it.
And that's this year's Halloween movie. I think the Joker is going to make that one flop. Evidently, that thing's taken over so much. I have not seen the Joker yet. Have you?
I have plans to see it, but I have not seen it.
Yeah, I want to see it now that it's kind of losing its steam.
Yeah.
Because I want to see it in a mostly empty theater.
Yeah, I don't like going to movies, guys. I'm going to dox myself when there's a lot of people. So sorry if you're listening to this and you're in the movie theater I'm in. I usually don't like when there's other people there. I like to have it to myself.
Yeah, well, I like it when there's other people there, but they have to be far the fuck away from
They have to be respectful, and I don't do groups laughing so much during a movie where I don't hear half of it. I hate that shit.
Yeah. But, I do like it.
We're so angry.
Yeah, we are. I feel like for a Star Wars movie, they drive the volume up so that you can still hear what the fuck somebody's saying.
I know they did for Fried Green Tomatoes because my ears are still ringing, and that was like, what, 93?
Oh, my God. Yeah, man. And having to laugh around all those middle-aged women when I was 7 years old was just,
No, but do you hate that? Do you feel like it's a waste of time in a horror movie's PG-13? I know there's exceptions to the rule. I know. But still, I just don't like it. I hate it.
Yeah. Well, I don't usually go out of my way to see a PG-13 horror movie.
Yeah.
I feel kind of like it's below me. However, though, I did see that Scary Tales to Tell in the Dark. I saw that in the theater, and I didn't see any of the trailers for it. I assumed it was going to be an anthology movie, like the book was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. However, though, I will say it did have its, parts that I thought were cool, but I did not like the concept of it being a straightforward plot. I wanted an anthology movie where all those little stories that we grew up as kids, you bought that at the book fair, took it home. Shouldn't have really been written for kids, but it was so goddamn good that even as an adult, I would still read that book, and then they fucked it up with this straightforward plot.
Yeah.
However, though, I enjoyed the movie to a degree. I didn't walk out of there bitching. But it was a PG-13 horror movie, and I thought it was that because I was like, well, they're taking this story book and, they're turning it... there is that one there was the one story about the girl who wears the collar around her neck all the time. And, this guy marries her and stuff, and he just starts bitching her out, you need to take the collar off. You need to take that choker off. And she's just like, no, I can't, please don't. And he takes it off of her and her head just falls off. Would that be a PG-13 movie?
Depends how that scene was shot, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess thinking to come top of my head, the one PG-13 movie that's scary to me is The Grudge. There it is.
That was PG-13? I thought it was R.
That was PG-13. Can you believe that shit? Crazy.
Damn. Yeah, that movie did creep me out.
It's just something about little Asian kids, man. They're fucking scary.
Dude, are you sure that's not R, man? You drowned the cat, beats the shit out of her.
I swear to God, I'm 96% sure it's PG-13.
I'm gonna fucking look this up. I'm sorry, man. I gotta challenge you on this one.
Challenge
I'm
accepted.
whooping out a challenge.
I'm looking it up too, and they're off. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? PG-13. Eat it, Tannen.
Bitch, I just saw that too. But I didn't bet you.
Boom.
Fuck.
Isn't that crazy? Like, how is the Grudge? That's a good point. How the fuck is the Grudge PG-13? Jesus.
Yeah, dude, there's that whole scene where he pizza.
Yeah.
Like fucking like the flashback shit. And he drowns the cat. They show him
I know.
shoving the cat.
Well, fuck cats, I guess. 13-year-olds can watch it.
And then shows him beating the fuck out of his wife. And killing his kid.
And this
That's
isn't
not
Wikipedia either. This is just fucking, I just typed it in, the Google machine.
That just shows how fucked up our rating system is.
Right.
Oh, you know what? That's PG-13. That is right there. But that movie, you know, Fried Green Tomatoes is rated R.
Tannen.
Because a pregnant woman gets punched in the stomach.
What's one of your top underrated horror movies? Because I feel like for me, as far as just violence and gore, it'd be Tales from the Hood. I feel like that one doesn't get talked about enough. That's some fucking brutal shit.
I used to be Creepshow, and I really feel like I pressed the pop culture on that one.
Right.
Now, so many people love that fucking movie, and it was one that, like...
It's safe to say that's mainstream at this point, right?
It is.
Yeah.
But 20 years ago, fucking I was all about that damn movie, and nobody had ever seen it. So, like, you know...
I remember when Avenged Sevenfold was a fucking real metal band, you assholes.
Man, most underrated horror movie. Underrated.
Well, one of them, not the most, but one that comes in your mind.
And it's just such a... That's a really tough question now, because so much of it has gone mainstream. Just with the popularity of...
Well, I feel like it can be mainstream, but it can still be underrated, you know?
I think Creepshow is definitely underrated.
There you go.
It's just a fun movie.
I thought that was your pick, and I actually thought it was a good pick. So there you go.
Definitely my pick. But I just feel like, dude, it has definitely gained a lot of steam over the years.
Yeah. Well, remakes help.
Well, that better never be remade. It should just be re-released. Because nothing's better than watching Ted Danson and Ed Harris face off against each other. And we all know Ed Harris, yeah. Not Ed Harris. Ed Harris is in that movie. And he's blonde hair, blue eyed in that movie. Now I'm thinking of Ted Danson and Leslie Nielsen.
I thought you were saying Woody Harrelson. That was going to be a Cheers reference. They're squaring off. Speaking of that, Zombieland 2 came out. I don't have any plans to see that in theaters, and I'm not rushing to see Zombieland 2, but there's a Woody Harrelson.
I haven't seen it yet either, and I really want to, because I love the first one.
It was alright. I love that scene where Woody Harrelson's trapped in a little shed, and he puts his little clips down to reload. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking badass. No, I liked the concept of that movie, and I liked that everybody in their little group survived. You know, and it was funny. Like when they shoot Bill Murray, that was funny.
I see a lot of people have hate for that movie.
Perfect.
I don't get the hate for Zombieland. Like, I don't love Zombieland, but I thought it was a fun movie to watch. Like, I'm not obsessively watching it, you know.
It's a fucking comedy, for God's sake.
Yeah. It's supposed to be just a fun fucking movie. You got Bill Murray, people.
And I like how they did the offshoots, like the woman who had, like, you know, the best zombie killer, you know, record of the year, like the woman that dropped the piano on the zombie and shit. Like, there's little offshoots, like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where, like, you just learn about this other shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, and I'm a huge Hitchhiker's fan, so that shit turned me on to it, too. And not like when it went through the rules with the cardio and stuff. Zombieland was a good fucking movie. Fuck off if you don't think it is.
It was fun.
You know, another good zombie comedy. That's like saying Shaun of the Dead is a shitty movie.
Right?
Shaun of the Dead is a fucking awesome movie.
Same fucking thing, pretty much. Just accents.
Yeah. But also, the people in the group did die. Like,
well, there's that. But still.
You know, that was a sad part. There was still that emotional part.
Are horror movies the worst genre to try to remake, Tannen? Because I feel like every horror remake I fucking hate. With the exception, I kind of brought it up earlier. I don't hate Bram Stoker's Dracula. I hate that Coppola made up all the Vlad the Impaler shit that wasn't in the book. But I don't hate that movie. But other than that, I hate Friday the 13th with fucking passion. I hated goddamn Nightmare. God, I hated Nightmare on Elm Street.
Like, to remake Friday the 13th and Halloween and all that, it's like remaking the Universal monster movies.
Yeah, but Hammer did that fucking awesome when they did it.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Frankenstein. However, that was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
And I feel like they were kind of remaking something that, in contrast and compare, the eras it was made in was kind of the Dark Ages and the late 50s, 60s.
Speaking of fucking remakes, they did announce Interview with the Vampire is getting a remake.
Ugh.
Okay,
Ugh.
that too. Did you ever read the book? The book is boring as all fuck. So if they take that and base it off the fucking book, it's gonna be 2.5 hours of ugh.
Who's gonna play Christian Slater?
I don't know. However, though, what I'm saying is, it would make for a great miniseries if they're gonna base it off the book.
It would make for a better miniseries. I don't know if it'd be great because it's still Anne Rice and drawn out fucking bullshit, and you know.
Oh Jesus, it's drawn out. It's good. It's like a really big, drawn out gay vampire porn. And, like, not that I have anything against gay vampire porn. However, though, like, that is the concept of gay vampire porn.
God knows I do. Goddamn gay vampires.
Like, it just definitely is, though. Like that book is. It's just so. It's a fucking gay vampire romance novel, and it's boring as fuck versus where the movie was. You know, like, the movie was just fucking fantastic. And they took all the best elements of the book and threw it in there. And it's like the producers knew. Like, they were like, these are the best parts of the book. We're going to do this. And Christian Slater is going to be the interviewer. He's got to be. Because it's Christian fucking Slater, and this is the 90s.
Pump up the volume.
But, yeah. But the book, man, I read that fucking book when I was 15 years old. Because I was like, finally, I'm going to read this book. I forced myself to read that fucking book. Now, Grant, that book did give a lot more background to Antonio Banderas. I can't remember what his name is, but Antonio Banderas' character.
The coolest vampire in the movie, by the way.
Yeah. In the novel, you learn a lot more about him. And that part was cool. But that's about it.
What'd you think Queen of the Damned, Tannen? So since we're on the Anne Rice kick, we might as well throw it in.
Well, it's Aaliyah, and I love that movie because fucking Aaliyah was like a goddess to me. I haven't watched it since I was, 14.
Oh.
So I did like one of the things that I hated about it was the whole Lestat being the lead singer of Korn.
Yes, I was gonna say that shit. I hated those fucking long, drawn out metal scenes.
That's right. God.
So bad. Aged like shit, by the way.
Yeah, God, it was just so bad.
So bad.
I can't even do an impression of it. But it was Aaliyah.
Right.
And it was sexy. And it was awesome.
She was fucking awesome in that movie. I gotta give it. I wasn't a fan of her music, but I thought she did really good in that movie. Shame.
Whew.
Damn shame.
Damn shame. God, she was beautiful.
God, I just keep thinking of the metal parts of that movie now. It's fucking hilarious. You guys are probably looking at pictures of it.
Dude, like, just, you know what? You want to watch Queen of the Damned? Just watch Aaliyah. Watch an Aaliyah music video. Don't watch an Aaliyah music video. Watch that. But, like, with Korn playing in the background. Just play Korn album the whole time while you watch that movie in mute. And give it like 15 minutes and then stop. And then do yourself a favor and go watch Am I That Somebody Aaliyah video and enjoy yourself.
Do it now. What are you waiting for? Pause this and come back. Tell us how it was.
Go watch that fucking Aaliyah video, that Dr. Dolittle video, and just go enjoy yourself.
Go do you.
There's metal parts in that movie. Holy fuck. What did I think? Queen of the Damned. I love Aaliyah.
There you go.
But that movie is terrible.
I can't believe we've already almost gone an hour. Tannen, what's your must-watch horror movie every Halloween that you gotta watch? Halloween?
I have three. I have three of them. No, not Halloween. Trick or Treat
Okay.
is now a yearly thing. Um, Queen of the Damned. No, I'm just kidding.
Queen of the Damned.
A Creep Show is definitely a staple. But that's all year long with me. I can watch that movie. I watched that movie on Father's Day because of the Father's Day story.
Yeah.
And my third staple would have to be, and I haven't watched it yet, but Tales of the Dark Side, the movie. Now, grant, two of these movies are anthology movies.
It's quite the eclectic list. Like, mine's so basic bitch in comparison. Mine's Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
All three of these movies are anthology movies. What the fuck am I talking about? Sorry. Trick or Treat's technically an anthology movie.
Technically, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I watch anthology horror movies every Halloween.
There you go. Final Chapter is my favorite Friday movie. I think it's probably everybody's. It's the best one with Kid Feldman and all that shit. That, Return of the Living Dead, and the original Dracula from 1931 are my three go-tos every year. The Bella one, not the Spanish version.
Yeah. I still watch a lot of horror movies, usually every year. This year, like I said, though, I got knee deep in Tales from the Dark Side. And, each episode's an hour long, so that's how I do my evenings right now. Right.
Another one that I watch any time of the year, but I find that I watch more and more at Halloween every year is Alien, the original. That's a really good horror movie.
Yeah, that's it. And a lot of people don't consider it that. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
Totally is. Oh, it totally is a horror movie. And it's the best kind, too, where, like, you're just trapped. You got nowhere to go. Completely. What's scarier than fucking space?
Nobody care, you scream, bitch.
Catchphrase. We just got sued. No, but I love it.
What's your favorite horror game to play around Halloween?
My favorite horror game to play is a tie. It's either probably Resident Evil 2, not the remake because I haven't played it yet, or Castlevania 4, Super Castlevania 4.
You're missing out with that fucking remake.
I know.
This year, yeah, usually mine's Silent Hill. Go to that one. But this year, it's been Super Castlevania.
Nice. See,
and the other one that I've kind of started playing, though, but I keep walking away from it, is Outlast. Still stuck on that part. Started from the beginning, still stuck on that part where I'm stuck in the dark, and there's a guy just chasing me around. And, even looked up walkthroughs on it. I just can't do it. Son of a bitch.
You know what fucking game I'm sick of hearing about? I don't get the appeal and I don't see the big deal. It's fucking Amnesia. It's fucking boring. Jesus Christ, people. Sorry if that's a hot take, Tana, but I'm so sick of seeing all this. It's got good atmosphere, but at what cost? I'm fucking dozing off. Sorry.
Amnesia. You know what? I haven't touched that.
Check it out. You might like it. I don't know. It's very slow and just, I don't know. Not for me. Not for me. Doom, I feel like Doom kind of counts too to play.
I'd say so.
I've been playing some Doom. I just got the urge to fire up 2016 Doom recently because I'm pissed Eternal got delayed. I know we're running out of time, but yeah, did you see that?
I haven't.
I don't know if I'm really pissed. I mean, I'm happy they're taking their time with it, but still, it's frustrating when that shit happens because I'm so hyped for Doom Eternal.
Whatever happened to that first-person game where you're in hell? And it's like really intense.
Hexen? Wait, no, you're not in hell in Hexen.
This one you're actually in hell, and I'm not talking about Dante's Inferno. It was a first-person game. It was supposed to be like the most terrifying game ever made. There was a tech demo for it.
PT?
I got released on Steam. No, not PT. Although, well, I have not played that, and I do still have that on my PS4.
Hold on to that, motherfucker. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm holding down to that like a motherfucker.
I don't want to end the show salty and angry. I don't want to talk about PT. It's been too good of an episode to be raging at fucking... Ugh. All right, okay, here's something. We've seen more details. I don't know if you've seen any of it of Death Stranding. What are your thoughts on any of the gameplay you've seen and the little press conferences and shit like that?
It just looks so strange.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, but God, it looks like I'm gonna like be left with this feeling of just feeling weird. Like even about myself.
Like you gotta take a shower after you play it or something.
I think it's the whole, like, why you're carrying around a baby and just everything just looks weird. I haven't watched much of the press conferences about it because I want to know very little about this going into it at this point. Like, the trailers were enough for me. So I don't really want to know anything about the storyline.
I feel like Kojima's kind of like the Tim Burton of gaming. Like, there's no gray area. Like, you either really like his shit or you're just like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
You know?
But I want to go into the game feeling like that. I mean, I feel like he's put a lot of work into it. So, like, I would have rather had Silent Hills. But whatever, like, we're getting the same actor and we're getting this. And it looks like it's just a really weird, creepy atmosphere and a plot that is going to be, like, leaving you with what the fuck. And, on that note, I'm good with it.
I don't think I'm going to bite for a while, though. I think I'm going to hold off on that one. It's not really just reeling me in with excitement. I don't know. I get that weird feeling you're talking about, too. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not hyped. I have been real quick streaming Castlevania for the NES. Part 3 should happen this week. Look for it on the channel. Tannen, I tweeted this out. You know what? I've always had a love-hate with that game, but I've never buried it on the channel. Fuck you, Castlevania. You unfair fucking piece of shit. God, it's fucking brutal.
God, it's a bitch.
It is. Yeah, once stage 10 happens, you're done. You get ready to play the same levels fucking over and over and over.
Yeah, I did get that collection for the Switch.
That is a hell of a deal. Oh yeah, $20. Shit. That and the Contra collection. That's another thing that's dropped. I know I keep saying that. Contra.
I got that too.
That looks fucking atrocious. I have no interest. Now, if they would have called it Smash TV Remastered, maybe.
The Contra collection?
No, not the collection. The newest Contra that just came out.
Oh, I haven't played that yet.
Well, don't. Because it looks terrible and everyone's burying it. It looks bad, dude. It looks really bad.
They should remaster Smash TV. I think that would be
They awesome. Really should. This is what this doesn't seem. This is like weird overhead shit. Like it looks like the Mode 7 shit from Contra 3 for the whole game, and it just doesn't work. And the AI looks retarded and just brutal. Fucking brutal. Yeah, but the Contra collection, that's hell yeah. Go out and buy it now if you're listening. $20 for that too, I'm pretty sure. And that's look at those games. You know? Look at those games, look at us. Look at Halloween, Tannen. We did it. We're back, man. It's good to get this in. Season 2 premiere, as you like to put it.
Yeah, with a Halloween special. I think it's appropriate. Very appropriate. This isn't necessarily spooktacular, but it's definitely a good way to get into this. And it's definitely a good way. What are you going as Halloween this year, Travis?
Probably Hulk Hogan.
Oh, right on. I am Shaggy, and not just any Shaggy. I am Christopher Nolan's Shaggy. So if Christopher Nolan made a Scooby-Doo movie, I'm Shaggy.
And you're also the killer from Scream at the same time, multi-costuming.
Hey, I'm just going to have to stab you in the stomach a few times.
Yeah.
We'll have to make you look real.
Zoinks!
Oh, you stabbed me a little bit too much to the left. I'm bleeding a little too much here.
See, here's the deal, man. I can flip a switch, Jack. I can be Travis. I can be the Hulk, dude. I can turn it on, man, hanging and banging. So it's good to be here on the Reset Button. Happy Halloween, boys. Thank you, Terry, for stopping by. Happy Halloween to you.
Brother.
Tannen, one more time. Where can everyone catch you? And all that good stuff.
You can catch me at Oh, Tannen's Bum at Twitter. Sorry, I paused there. Oh, Tannen's Bum at Twitter. You can also find me on Facebook if you search for me hard enough.
Let's go.
There.
Let's go. We had a celebrity do a run-in, so of course you're a little shook up here, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I almost got I felt like he was gonna throw me through the wall. Just go, brother.
Sorry, man. I'm back, dude. I forgot my keys, man. Later, brothers. I'll see you, Terry.
Terry.
I guess I'm supposed to say check out Terry Plays on the channel too. He would like me to say, if you were here. There you go.
Definitely check out Terry Plays. Yeah, go ahead. You have new stuff. I mean, I'm still on Tannen's Bum on Twitter. I'm still there. It's still breathing. Haven't expected forever. Haven't tweeted anything in a long time. My life. I've had a lot of life adjustments here, but back in the game, folks.
I feel like you should start tweeting again. More.
I feel like I should too. Definitely should. Just random shit.
Why not? That's what I do. And I had 400,000 fucking views. So there you go. There you go. On Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. I got nothing. I didn't know where to go from there. As always, unionsmack.bigcartel.com. Get your official Hibiki TMD merch. This show, the reset button, never drew a dime. Union Smack, all your goodness. Winners come and get your Union Smack winner hat. Catch me at ProWrestlingJournal.com with Drew Ortman, Pro Wrestling Journal podcast. All the goodness. Hit that little goddamn red button down below for all the best retro gaming and pro wrestling. This has been the Reset Button. Tannen, happy Halloween, Ooga Booga, trick or treat. Let's hit it.